Hello, my name is Mark Farah, and I am here with Audrey Thummel. And
Hi.
today we will be answering the question, should some knowledge not be sought on ethical grounds? Audrey, what do you think?
Oh, you want me to start?
Yeah,
Okay. Um, well, I think that hmm, I guess I guess it depends like on the situation, but like also I guess it depends on like the person seeking it, if that makes sense.
hmm
Because obviously if like you're like an ethically like if you're a morally good person, and you for instance discover how to like I don't know take over the world or like blow up the entire universe or something like that, like crazy like that. That's like morally wrong. Like if you're a morally good person, you're not going to want to do that. So it's not going to be morally and ethically harmful for you to know that. But if you're a bad person, then obviously like that could be morally harmful for you and the rest of the entire universe if you discover that information. So I guess it depends on what information you're discovering and what type of person you are and what you're going to do with the information.
I completely agree. I think the question is worded a little weirdly. When it says, should some knowledge not be sought on ethical grounds? I feel like all knowledge should, like, you should be able to try to seek all knowledge. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but I feel like a better way to phrase it would should some knowledge not be provided on ethical grounds. You get what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, that makes more sense. Because like
Like,
knowledge is just yes.
exactly. Now, unless it's Rocco's basilisk, I think most knowledge is good knowledge. Like, for example, but at the same time, some knowledge can be like a double-edged sword kind of.
Hmm.
Like, if someone's really good at like bioengineering, for example, you can do great things with it, but at the same time, you can kill the entire human race. So when you say some knowledge, I wouldn't say the knowledge itself shouldn't be sought on ethical grounds. I'd say more the people that want to do harm shouldn't be able to seek it on ethical grounds.
Or shouldn't be able to act.
So, exactly. So, what I mean by that is like, for example, like in a biomedical form, let's say, I think only higher ups or the scientists employed by the firm should be able to know all the fancy stuff so that a normal person doesn't just sneak in at night, hack into everything, and create a virus that'll kill the entire human race. If
Okay,
that
so
makes
let
sense.
me double advocates you. So how do you know, like, say you create you're super smart, like what is it? Biochemical? Is that what you
Yeah.
said? Biochemical, like, engineer person. You create a company and you're the head of the company, but your entire, like, purpose is to, like, seek bad information so you can destroy the world, but no one knows that about you. You're like hiding it. You know what I'm saying? So like how do you know that the people that are in charge of seeking the information and protecting everyone else from the information are the morally good people?
You don't, because the people that are in charge aren't. Like, you think the government's good? Dude, like literally the earth is flat, they're trying to keep it from us. And that's
I
just like
don't think
one.
the government in itself is bad, but people are good and bad, and people make up the government. So,
Okay. Yeah, 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 exactly. I like how you phrase that. But for real, I think that like it's 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 just if you know someone shouldn't know this information or someone isn't qualified to handle certain information, then you just shouldn't tell them it. Now, some information I think should just be locked away permanently. Like, for example, how to build an atomic bomb that'll blow up the entirety of Earth. Now, obviously, you can argue there's some circumstances where where it might be good, but I feel like that information, there's such a small chance that it might be needed that it should just be hidden completely.
yeah.
So, another thing that I was thinking about for this question was privacy. So,
Okay.
when it says some knowledge not be sought,
Hmm.
privacy is a big one because I don't want people knowing stuff about me. Like, for example, like Facebook. Facebook like charges Facebook. It sells your information. It gathers your information and sells it.
Mhm.
That's they profit off of your information. Ethically, is that okay? If you just skip past the entire terms and conditions and just press I agree, whatever. Personally, I think it's not okay. I think that or at least I think that terms and conditions should be more clear. I think that just like Mr. Bitorek talked about how it's mostly gobbledygook.
Gobbledygook. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it should be made more clear, and you should be able to understand exactly what you're getting yourself into. Because I don't want people knowing where I live. I don't want people knowing where I go to school. I don't want people knowing what route I take to school every day, if that
Do
makes
you
sense.
do you think that if people knew like the extent of the information that they're just giving away to like apps through like the terms and conditions that they wouldn't use them? Or do you think that like people would come up with like how would you fix the problem, I guess is what I'm asking.
Well, I think it's too late, to be
Right, but
honest.
like would people stop like using them if they came up with terms and conditions that like listed exact everything? Or do you think people would just be like, "Oh,
That's a
like
good
they've had my
question.
information for so many years, like I don't care at this point."
I feel like herd mentality is a big thing when it comes to these sort of things because like everyone uses Facebook, everyone uses Snapchat, everyone uses Instagram. So I feel like if everybody uses it, then you think that since you're just one part of a big machine, like it can't be that big of a deal if you use it. When in reality, they're taking your information and literally selling it. Like why do you think they take your information and sell it? You don't think there's like a big market in that sort of thing? There is. They put ads that well, another thing is they're also not very clear with what they do with your information. I know some places got sued because they weren't doing very good things with your information, like, well, Facebook. But I don't know. I feel like information should be allowed to be sold. However, it should be clear as to exactly what the people that the big companies are selling it to are doing with your information.
So, how do we get here?
Huh? I mean, that's the TOK cast. You talk and you get places and you get to conclusions, and then you end up realizing how dumb you really are because you
That's
did
so
not
rude.
answer the question at all.
Okay, I was just thinking about this. This like you're talking about ads. I was thinking about this one ad that I see like every single time I go to the gym. It's a bench ad. And there are two benches that are like outside, and there's this one light that always is red on like crossing Woodward. It's always red. So I always get stopped in it, and I'm always like looking around. There's these two benches. One bench has an ad on it. The other bench is an advertisement for the bench ad. And it has like these big eyes on it, and it's like, see, you looked. Bench ads work. Call this number if you want. I can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah,
Because every time I look at it, I'm like, shoot, it got me again. Like I looked again, but like also like why am I feel like it's so weird. It's like I can feel my brain being manipulated and I don't like it. And I
yeah.
didn't
That's
even
why I
give my
think
permission for it to be manipulated.
that's why I think privacy is like, well, not privacy. I mean specifically like some knowledge is bad. Like knowing that bench exists there and getting annoyed by it. I mean that's bad knowledge. Obviously on a much less scale than like
Yeah.
Roko's Basilisk if Roko's Basilisk was a thing, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah. No,
So
100%. But like once you know something, like almost it like by making it bad or like by the information being bad, once you know something, like not only can you not forget it, it becomes like of increased importance. Like you can't stop thinking about it,
yeah. Oh yeah,
which
I
like
agree.
I don't know why that is, but
Like
um,
there's some things I think about every single day that are that are not good.
but
There's
like go ahead.
like I know you've seen the whole Roman Empire thing.
Hmm.
Like I think like blah 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 is my Roman Empire.
Hmm.
And I feel like that trend in itself kind of puts into question like should stuff be known? Just like in general. I sound like that was a lot of gobbledygook, but let me simplify. Basically I feel like that whole trend just kind of shows that the human mind loves to cling on to some things,
Yeah.
and I feel like it clings on to bad things a lot more. That's all.
Yeah, that makes sense. I remember this one that I literally can't get out of my head, and it was this girl saying that her Roman Empire was her grandma telling her that on the day she got engaged, she had to call and cancel 3 dates for that day because she had to tell them that she was getting engaged. 3 dates on the day she was getting engaged. Like, who, what? Like, that is absolutely insane. But I would say, like, I was thinking a good example of the whole um of you can't stop thinking about it thing is like for me I would say this happens most for girls like with drama, like you hear like a piece of drama about someone or like that you're not supposed to know and your person's like you can't tell anyone about it, then all you're thinking about is that thing and then you have to tell someone about it because like you can't get it out of your brain,
Yeah.
and so you have to tell someone to get it out of your brain. Like I think like that's a big like I feel like that could be a big danger too, because like say that information was something really harmful and like that's all you can think about it, and like the guilt of that like information is like just weighing down on you, that you're the only one that knows this and like you have to like bear the burden of like having this information. You can't let anyone else know about it because be potentially harmful like for the whole like world.
Mhm.
Like are there some people that like know that sort of stuff and they like can't say anything about it? Like I'm like off the top of my head it's like CIA, but actually I have no idea what the
Yeah.
CIA does. So
So now we got to remember the question says ethical grounds. You get what I mean?
yeah.
So it's basically asking, is it right to, is it right or wrong to know information?
I think it comes down to intention.
I agree. I 100% agree. Um, so another thing that comes to mind is MK Ultra. You know what MK Ultra is?
No. Or
It's
sounds familiar, but
basically the CIA gave drugs to people to try and figure out mind control. Uh, but the thing is, some of the people did not know that they were being forced to take drugs.
mhm.
So I think if you told someone about that knowledge, like if you told someone, "Hey, this person over here is taking drugs, isn't that fun?" and they don't know about it, isn't that funny? I feel like just knowing that information makes you liable to do something about it. It makes you like morally, it makes you like you
Responsible.
it makes you responsible in a way. So I feel
Yeah.
like in a sense, then yes, it is bad to know some information in that way. However, if I'm like if it's the same context, except I'm like very qualified and I like helping people and I'm like a big government. Let's say I'm from the Chinese government and I'm trying to find propaganda to to tell my people to hate the US and someone tells me about that, then it'll be a good now morally it would be bad, but it would be a good thing to me.
Right.
You get what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
It's 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 a moral dilemma. So,
Yeah.
let's answer the question. Should some knowledge not be sought on ethical grounds?
I don't think the seeking of knowledge in itself is ever wrong. Like, I don't think you can like say that, but I think it just depends on like the intentions the person has in seeking the knowledge. Like I said, like I don't think that there's anything like obviously there's so much of the world, like even of the like the world, the natural world that we live in that we still don't know about it, still don't know about. Like you hear people talk about like there's so much of the ocean that we still haven't discovered. That in itself, like there's so much we don't know. And so I think like the pursuit of knowledge in and of itself is just like a really like it's such an interesting like thing, and it's just kind of like an innate thing that like we all like I feel like have in us, although people like I hate school whatever, but like I feel like everyone as humans like wants to like learn more about like something regardless of what it is. um and so I think the pursuit of knowledge in and of itself is never wrong, but I think human error and human intention is what can make it ethically wrong.
Okay. I want to learn how to commit genocide on a third world country in Africa for fun. Is that morally wrong?
Okay, but you said for fun. You
Yeah.
said for
I
fun.
just I just for poops and giggles want to learn how to commit genocide on a third world country.
Is seeking that information ethically wrong? Uh, I want to say no. If you're not like, what are you gonna do with the information? Are you then gonna go and commit genocide,
No,
or are you just
I
gonna
just want to know
you
how
just
to
want
I just want
to
to know
know?
how to completely annihilate an entire third world country.
See, but I feel like that's like an impossible question because I feel like someone who is a psychopath enough to want to know something like that is gonna also be the person who's wanting to do something with it.
But
Does
is
that make
knowing that,
sense?
yeah. Now, like I said, I think the answer to this question is yes, but I think in only very specific circumstances. Like for example, the one that I just said, I don't think that should be. I think it should be. You should be able to know that because every single president in the world knows that, and they choose not to act on it. So does being the president morally wrong? No, because if as the president of the United States, you know how to send a nuke to wherever you want.
Yeah.
You
Hmm.
know how to kill people, but you don't do that. So I feel like knowing stuff in general or knowing stuff in general is not wrong. However, if you want to know like like the really specific details and like gory stuff like that, I think that's weird and I think that's morally wrong. You know what I mean?
For
Like
your own enjoyment, not just for the knowledge in and of
yeah,
itself.
like
Yeah.
knowing how to knowing how to kill a baby with a like a sword. Like how to perfectly dissect a baby. Like I feel like that should not be like that should you knowing that is wrong.
Yeah.
And not even just acting on it. I think knowing that is wrong. But there's a lot of stuff out there that you can know how to do very easily. Like you know how to kill a baby. Am I wrong?
Yes.
Yeah.
I never really thought about it, but yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
you know how to kill a baby.
We all know
But it's not
technically how to kill each other.
yeah, exactly. But I feel like going into the details about it is what makes it bad.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
So we all have like innate knowledge that we have like just by experiencing and like being human, but
Yeah.
actually going into that knowledge for the purpose of acting on it obviously is wrong.
Yeah. Great. We solved this moral dilemma. Okay. See ya.
Good job.